What's going on, guys? MMunizBOG here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to go over 5 reasons that dividend ETFs are my favorite form of investment. Now, I am not a financial advisor. These are just my opinions, but that's what my channel is all about. So if you work hard for your money and you want to make it go further, make sure you smash the like button down below, subscribe to the channel. We recently just hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much to all my returning viewers, and I look forward to continuing to provide weekly content on anything related to personal finance or fitness. So let's get into the video. Now, real quick, because the whole video is going to be about dividend stocks or dividend ETFs, what exactly is a dividend? Well, a dividend is a distribution in the form of cash or stock, something along the sort, when you are a shareholder of a company that you receive from them. So if you hold shares of Nike and they have their earnings, they give you, a shareholder, a portion of their earnings. That would be the dividend or distribution that you receive. So now that we got that out of the way, the first reason that we're going to talk about on why dividend investing is awesome is it helps new investors get started with investing. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it's pretty motivating when you can see an actual tangible benefit right from the start. Now, what I mean by that is when you invest in a company that pays a dividend or an ETF, which is what I personally prefer, you are able to know, is it going to pay me monthly, quarterly, biannually, whatever, but at some point you're going to get a tangible return. Now, when that new investor gets started with their investing, they buy their first shares of SPHD, a month later they get their first dividend. Bam, all of a sudden they've got their first cash paid to them and they didn't have to do anything. All they did was invest some of their money. This is different than when you invest in something that doesn't pay dividends, because then you're only relying 100% on capital appreciation. And if, for instance, it's March of 2020 and you're trying to get an investor started and all of a sudden they invest and the market goes down 30%, it's not very motivating. So dividends are a great way to show tangible benefits when it comes to investing. And the thing is, it's really similar to fitness, actually. When you have someone that's new to working out, it's really hard to motivate them. But as soon as they're consistent for a few weeks of working out or investing, all of a sudden they see their first results, they get their first dividend, or maybe they lose a couple pounds, bam. All of a sudden they're like, wow, I have results that I can see. I want to keep doing it. What do I need to do more? Well, what you're going to do next is you're going to dollar cost average, or DCA. What that means is every single month, you're going to save some money and you're going to set it aside and invest it. That way, you continue to purchase more and more shares of whatever you're investing in, and then you're going to grow the dividends that you receive. So for the new investor, dividend investing makes it pretty easy to stay motivated and see those tangible results. Reason number 2, dividend investing, especially in ETFs, allows for some of the easiest passive income you can make. A lot of us have families that we need to support, or maybe you just need to support yourself. You need some income to do that. You work really, really hard for your company, and sadly, your company does everything it can to pay you as little as possible just to keep you employed. Now, maybe that's not the case for everybody, but for the majority of us, that is the case. With dividend investing, though, you're taking your hard-earned money and you're investing in the company. And you know what? They're going to do what they can to pay you back. They want to raise their dividends to their shareholders. They want to do whatever they can to keep people investing in them and to keep their shareholders happy. It's crazy. All you do is keep putting more money into a certain asset or assets, diversify your portfolio, and all of a sudden you're just collecting more and more money on a monthly basis or quarterly basis. It doesn't get any easier than that. Even in the down market, like we were, the past couple months, I've been just getting paid every month. Dividend VYM, dividend Q yield, dividend SPHD, dividend SCHD. It really helps you stay pretty positive. Now, the third benefit of dividend investing, and even more so in the ETFs like I've been talking about, is reducing risk and volatility of a portfolio. Now, what I mean by that is when you invest in an individual stock, no matter how good the company is, it can be someone that's been around for years and years and years. Disney, for instance. There is a chance that Disney could go out of business. I don't think that's likely, but there's still a chance. Now, if you own a pool of companies, we'll say 100, and 2 of those companies go out of business, you still have 98 companies left that are still providing dividend income to you. So this is why I'm an advocate for dividend ETFs. It's an easy way to diversify your portfolio, and you don't have to worry as much about companies going under. A lot of the dividend ETFs that are passively managed or even actively managed, they do what's called rebalancing their portfolios, where they remove certain assets or companies when they're not doing what's required to be in that specific ETF or exchange traded fund. Typically, dividend paying companies or ETFs are not going to be as volatile as companies that are in growth, for instance. The reason for that is they're usually large cap blue chip stocks that have been around for a long time. They have strong balance sheets, and we could say with confidence that they're probably going to continue doing what they're doing. Now, that's not always the case, but that's why ETFs are awesome, because you still get that diversification. Now, the fourth thing we're going to talk about is tax advantages. Now, this is even more important when you're retired, but even when you are working a 9-to-5 like me, dividend ETFs or dividend companies have the opportunity to provide you with tax advantages. Now, not all dividends are taxed the same. You have ordinary dividends and you have qualified dividends. In order to be a qualified dividend, you have to meet certain criteria. You have to have a certain holding period. Not all companies or ETFs can provide qualified dividends. But if the dividends are qualified, you will find that you have much more preferential tax treatment. If you're retired and you've made $40,000 in income just from dividends, nothing else, and you are retired, you have no other forms of income, and it's all qualified dividends, you don't have to pay a penny of taxes. That is the beauty of qualified dividends. Now, there are other different tax brackets. You do pay taxes as it goes up, but when you compare that to ordinary dividends, which would be taxed as ordinary income, it is way better to be qualified dividends. The last thing I want to talk about is reason number 5 on why I personally prefer dividend ETFs. Now, it doesn't mean I don't invest in growth or other categories. It's just why I like them the best, is it makes it really easy to manage your finances and plan for financial freedom or retirement. What I mean by that is if you know how much money you spend a year to pay for your living, we'll just use $40,000 as an easy example. All you need to do is take your yearly expenses and divide it by the dividend per year that you would receive from whatever asset you're going to be investing in. So we'll use Q yield. Let's just say it pays out $2.50 a year. If you take $40,000 and you divide by $2.50, you're going to end up with 16,000 shares. What that means is if you had 16,000 shares of Q yield, you would have received $40,000 in dividends, and that would pay for your life. You would not need to sell any shares. All of your dividends would pay for your expenses. Now, this is obviously an example that's really, really dumbed down, doesn't take into effect inflation or taxes or stuff like that. It's just an example, so, roast me in the comments if you want. All it does is help my video get more views, so that's up to you. But basically, when you know that you're getting a 2% or 3% return on your total portfolio in the form of distributions or dividends, well, you could take your total portfolio value, multiply it by 2 or 3%, and all of a sudden you know exactly how much money you're making per year. It's like a salary from a full-time job, hence why it's the best form of passive income, because you're not doing anything other than saving money. So I hope you got something out of today's video. I just wanted to give 5 reasons that I think dividend ETFs and dividend investing in general is awesome. I mean, it truly makes me happy every time I open up my brokerage account and just see myself getting paid, and I'm at home relaxing. I really can't ask for much more, so I hope the same for you guys. Leave me a comment down below with what your favorite type of investment is. I want to know. I do my best to respond to every single comment, and I hope to see you in next week's video. Take care.